Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so we're well into a year into this pandemic, and for a lot of people, staying home more than ever, it might also mean cooking at home more than ever. But according to brand new research from the National Zero Waste Council, 2.2 million tons of edible food is wasted each year here in Canada. Unbelievable. That works out to an average of about $1,100 every year for the average household. So, here with delicious recipes that also minimize our food waste is Chef Bashir Munye. Welcome back to the show.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me again.
What is it that you think that, we're lacking knowledge in when it comes to looking at a piece of food and asking ourselves, like, how do we use most or all of this food item?
Well, Mel, that's a great question. And I think that there's a generational gap. I feel that after the 50s, the 60s, parents decided to become really busy. There wasn't really much about home economics, specifically American in Europe. And because of this lack of understanding of a scarcity, then we became a country that has an abundance without really understanding where this food can go. So if I can show you this beautiful bounty of vegetables, I can guarantee you that most families, 60% of what's currently in my bowl is going to go into the garbage. I'll give you an example. The carrot tops. Most farmers, they will take all these carrot tops and either give it to feeding for animals because a lot of people wouldn't know what to do. I took these green tops, I blanched them in water, and ended up making this beautiful, vibrant pesto. So instead of it throwing in the garbage, I'm using those ones. The broccoli, many times people end up buying the broccoli, they take the stems and throw them in the garbage. Meantime, you can just remove some of the outer layer and use the full stem as well. For me, it's like going back to the better understanding, a little bit of a food literacy in helping family understanding that all this food right here can be really minimized amount of a food waste. And I'm happy to share with you some examples.
Okay, so we're going to move from vegetables into meat. And one of the most versatile common meats that people who eat meat use is the chicken. And most people gravitate towards using chicken breast, chicken thighs, or chicken legs. But you say we're missing out if we're not using the organs, in particular the heart. Tell us why we need to consider using this particular part of the chicken.
From a perspective of a business owner, a chef, buying the whole chicken financially makes more sense for me. Instead of buying only the chicken breast, they tend to be a little bit expensive. But all the organs that they are inside the chicken can be consumed as well. So this is what the chicken heart looks like normally. I have this beautiful seasoning called baharat. And what I've done with this baharat, I season the chicken heart, pan fry them, or you can grill them, and then I made a chocolate sauce. So I have right here my chocolate sauce with the same seasonings, and I'm thinking, why don't we just give you a little bit of a chocolate dipped in a little bit of a chicken hearts dipped in chocolate sauce. So instead of giving you strawberries, as an act of love, I feel that chocolate covered hearts. So this will be more like a mole. So like a very spicy, really like tons and tons of flavor in the chocolate. So it's not as sweet, 75% bitter, but maintaining the playfulness. I don't know about you, but I really like a combination of peanuts and chilies inside my chocolate coated hearts. So here I'm putting my heart in your hands.
Oh,
Moving on to the liver, you use it to make a pate, which you say is a really decadent appetizer. So how do you make it?
It's quite simple. At times people, they complicate things, but if you take just chicken liver, pan fry it, remove it, add some shallots, a little bit of a cream, and then just puree everything with the seasonings and herbs that you want to. Traditionally, in a lot of places, I grew up in Italy and we used to eat a chicken liver pate, usually served with some bread or some crackers, but I'm trying to bring the element of a self-identification, and I picked up some fried plantains and I made like a tostones. So I fried them once, I fried them again, and then later on I took my chicken liver pate, I spread it into my tostones, and I add a little bit of an apricot and guava jelly.
I'm not a meat eater, Chef Bashir, but when it comes to vegetables, as you showed us off the top, it is shockingly still such a high amount of potential food waste there. So you're going to show us how, for example, you can use the entire vegetable with a cauliflower. You have got a dish, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, called za'atar roasted cauliflower. So take us through this.
Absolutely. So za'atar, it's a combination of a dried sumac, sesame seeds, a dried thyme. It's commonly found in a lot of Mediterranean and Middle Eastern grocery stores. There's a lots and lots of flavor, and I made a little tahini sauce to go along with it. So usually when people buy the cauliflower, the actual petals of the flower, people they throw them in the garbage. So not only they throw away the petals, but they also throw away the core of the cauliflower. So,
Yeah.
you went to those house parties and you find sometimes a cauliflower as a crudité, and they take all this part and throw it away. So now you're losing already 15 to 20% of the actual yield of a vegetable, but this has a tons and tons of flavor. So I personally prefer to cook it with the actual stem. I have a little bit of a tahini sauce in the bottom.
I just love this. Chef Bashir, what are some other ways that you can use the cauliflower leaves? Because I'll be honest, I've never used them before.
Yeah, so from a simple pasta to any time that you want to do any baked dish, you can add them to any stir-fry vegetables that you want to. So, I mean, every single part. So not only the petals, but you can also use the stems. Most of the time, people, they tend to throw away the stems just because of the lack of a sense of awareness on how delicious food can be by understanding the full botanical composition. So I don't really fault anyone. I think that there is a lack of awareness. So let's be really understanding and empathetic to people's lack of knowledge.
Up next, you're going to continue that knowledge with a dish that uses the entire zucchini. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. Usually when people buy zucchini, when we're talking about how much of a food waste, people they tend to throw away at least this much of the zucchini. So the top of the zucchini, the bottom of the zucchini, they automatically thrown away. But no one actually asks themselves, why do we need to throw away? So with my students, every now and then we play an activity called Chef, Can I Eat That? And Chef, Can I Eat That? It really gives an opportunity to understand whether you can actually consume. Most of the time, people, they will go throw this part away and throw this part away.
Yeah.
Okay? So this is already for one single zucchini, and the list goes on. But the zucchini stems, it has the same nutritional value. It has a tons of flavor as well. So instead of it throwing away, keep it together and then just be playful and make something really delicious. So here I'm using the zucchini stems just to kind of reflect on how food can be beautiful, delicious, and at the same time nutritious by using every single part of it. I made a little tamarind chutney. In Somalia we call it shidni. So I made a little tamarind chutney and I'm using those zucchini. Just like, since the zucchini don't have a lot of a flavor, I'm adding something that has a little bit of a vibrancy. It's going to give a little kick as well.
These have been fascinating. I love that game. I think I might start playing that in my house. Chef, can I eat that? Chef Bashir, this has been so much fun, so eye-opening. Thank you so much for bringing these recipes to us.
Thank you so very much for having me. This was great.
And if you want to revisit any of these recipes, try them out for yourself. Go check out at the Social CTV on all of our social media channels. We've got these recipes there for you. We'll be back after this.